Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This time I have prepared to talk about the history of Bangladesh. If I have spelled some names wrong, and you can correct me in the comment section. This is how Bangladesh comes to my mind when I think of it. With a rich history and a rich cultural heritage, the peoples of this land are indigenous and intelligent, hardworking, resilient, and the Bangladesh are simple, friendly, hospitable. So you might have seen this flag before. Bangladesh flag is composed of the dark green area with a balanced red disc in the center and the red circle that is a knot in the center, but a little bit offset closer to the hoist side. And the reason for this is to look centered when the flag is waving in the air. The green field expresses the natural beauty of the land. The disc represents the sun rising over the country, and the red color denotes the blood of Bangladesh shed in the War of the Independence. Let's jump to the political geography. Officially, the People's Republic of Bangladesh is a country in South Asia. Bangladesh is surrounded by India on the west and north and northeast, Myanmar on the southeast, and the Bay of Bengal on the south. It is the eighth most populous country in the world and among the most densely populated, with a population exceeding 170 million within an area of 148 square kilometers. The capital and largest city is Dhaka, located in a lower central region, right above the Fatma River and the Ganges Delta. Background of enclaves in 1947 after the decolonization from the British Empire. India and the East Pakistan, later Bangladesh, each had enclaves within the other's borders. And the enclaves created problems that have been difficult to resolve. In 2015, India and Bangladesh exchanged an 162 enclaves in the land boundary agreement. The 2015 agreement is Bangladesh transferred the 51 enclaves to India. India received 95 to 101 of the 103 Indian enclaves. In 2015, India and Bangladesh exchanged 162 enclaves in the land boundary agreement. In 2015 agreement is Bangladesh transferred 51 enclaves to India. India received 95 to 101 of the 103 India enclaves that were inside Bangladesh. The agreement offers citizenship options to enclave residents. The exchange of enclaves was complicated by the structure of the government, the counter enclave. Thin Biga corridor, which connects enclave resident in Dagram and Kriparta, India impact. The exchange of enclaves ended the centuries old territorial anomaly and completed a process of land and population exchange that began in the 1950. Physical geography. Bangladesh has an abundance of water. It also faces a number of water challenges, including the water scarcity, contamination, and flooding. Bangladesh's largest resource is their rivers. In fact, the Bengal Delta is the largest delta in the world, and the country has more transboundary rivers than anywhere else at 58. This means that they share rivers with both India and Myanmar. All together, thought Bangladesh has about 700 main rivers. The largest ones being in Fatma are better known as the Ganges in India. And the Jamuna or the Brahmaputra, Bangladesh is an ecological gem. In fact, some of the most fertile soil in the world is found in Bangladesh. The one thing they are especially known for growing is jute. Jute is used to make many products in Bangladesh, including the clothes, bags, furniture, and other items. Bangladesh is generally split off into two different separate regions. The low-lying flat delta, where most of the land is only at 10 meters or less above sea level, and the small hilly plains mostly in the north, northeast, and the southeast by Speaking of Chittagong, Bangladesh has the world's longest uninterrupted beach in the world. Now Bangladesh is off. A course blessed with the fertility, often the villages are buried underneath mango and coconut and the jackfruit trees and the beautiful forests with an abundance of flora and fauna, such as the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest, which kind of the like the last place where you can find the Bengal tiger. And however, there's a problem. Bangladesh is a kind of the subject to terrible and tropical storms almost every year, sometimes even tornadoes. On the top of that, during the annual monsoon season, the river gets to swollen that two and thirds of the Bangladesh's 64 districts typically experience flooding that causes extensive property damage, loss of communication, loss of drinking water, and loss of crops, and leads to the spreads of the disease, which eventually leads to death. Demographics. Bangladesh is the eighth most populated country in the world with almost 2.2% of the world's population. Bangladesh is likely to grow up by 10 million people in 5 years according to UN World Population Prospects, and urban planners fear that the country would be in acute crisis of the space and resource unless the government prepares and ahead. Bangladesh's people have a very unique story in that they kind of they had to fight two rounds for two separate different independence. One of them from the British and the other from Pakistan. Bangladesh was the for long that time part of British Empire. However, after the British left, they separated the region into two states and three regions. The predominantly Muslim state being West Pakistan, East Pakistan, which is known as a modern day Bangladesh, and finally they gained their independence in 1971 and joined the UN. The country is predominantly Muslim and about the 82% being a Sunni or Sufi Muslim, about the 12% are Hindu. Friend zone. Bangladesh tries to maintain a good ties with pretty much every country in the world and doesn't really typically choose sides when it becomes to measure world powers. Nepal is like a tactical friend of Bangladesh. It's mostly based on strategic agreements. Nepal does good business and Bangladesh gives them access to the ocean. And the Maldives like to hire Bengali people for work, especially with their huge tourism sector. About the 40,000 Bengali workers live in the Maldives. The US was is still the largest aid provider for Bangladesh and one of the top trade partners in a textile. One thing that Bangladesh is like really good at making clothes. Bangladesh is doing so well at developing their infrastructure that they have been decreasing their aid dependency from the 85% in 1988 to about the 2% in 2010. It's funny because the predominantly in Hindu country depended a Muslim country from the another Muslim country. They were first recognized Bangladesh as a state and supported them in the war against Pakistan. However, afterwards they kind to gotten into a few sweepless themselves. Apparently, they didn't realize that after driving the borders, they had to share like a lot of Bangladesh. In addition, I will tell you some interesting facts. Bangladesh is the home to the world's largest mangrove forest and is known as the land of rivers. It's also one of the most densely populated countries in the world. Bangladesh has over 700 rivers, including the Ganges, Tista, Meghna. The Bangladesh has one of the world's longest beaches, and the national animal of Bangladesh is the Royal Bengal tiger. The Sundarbans is the home to tigers, monkeys, leopards, and 750 species of birds. The Royal Bengal tiger is the largest predator in the region. Bangladesh has the rich tradition of folk songs, and including an Batiyali, Baul, Marpati, Murshidi, and the Bavaya. The national flower of Bangladesh is the water lily. Bangladesh emerged from the Pakistan after gaining the independence in 1971. Muslims make up the world's third largest Islamic population in Bangladesh. Let's mention some famous people. Mohammed Shahabuddin is the current president. He was elected and unopposed on the 13th February 2023, and he took office for a 5-year term on Monday and 24 April 2023. And Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he was the Bangladeshi political revolutionary statesman and activist who was the founding president of Bangladesh. And Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh, a politician who served as the 10th Prime Minister of Bangladesh from June 1996 to July 2001, and again from January 2009. Bulbul Ahmed, actor and director, he won the Bangladesh National Film Award, the Best Actor Award 3 times for his roles. Shakib Al Hassan is the Bangladeshi cricketer who plays the Test and ODI cricket for the Bangladeshi cricket team. Taslima Nasrin is a Bangladesh writer, physician, feminist, and Zahir Raihan. He was the Bangladeshi novelist and writer and filmmaker. Qazi Nazrul Islam. He was the Bengali poet and short story writer, journalist, and lyricist and a musician. He is the most national poet of Bangladesh. Traditional food, kebab and stuffed breads and kachi biryani and roast lamb, duck and chicken, patisapta and Kashmiri tea and karma. Finally, if you are going to travel to this country, listen up. The best time to travel to Bangladesh is between October and March, when the weather is dry and cool. Be hydrated. Travel city in Fridays and Saturdays because there's less jam and less people. Wear thin clothes and a jersey type t-shirt and short pants. If female, wear what Bengali women wear. Thank you so much.